Hi, my name is Richie Leland, and I'll be covering the healthcare systems of Ireland and the United States. The United States is primarily a private healthcare system with some public finance, for example, Medicare and Medicaid. In 2017, private insurance was more prevalent than the government insurance at 67.2% and 37.7% respectively. 91.2% of residents have health insurance in 2017, and the United States spends about 17.1% of its total GDP on healthcare. In Ireland, it is essentially a universal public system, but many people have to pay for fees and visits. There are also some private options. Due to fees and possible long wait times, about 40% of the population utilizes private insurance. This is the highest percentage in Europe. 100% of the residents have state coverage, and Ireland spends about 7.8% of its GDP on healthcare. The average life expectancy for men in the United States is 78 years. For women, 82, and that makes an average of 80. In Ireland, it is 79 years for men, 83 for women, and an average of 81 overall. The out-of-pocket healthcare spending in the United States is remarkably higher than in Ireland. For example, the average emergency room visit without general practitioner referral in the United States is about $1,233. The average night in the hospital is about $2,000, and the average cost of private health insurance for one person in a year is $5,280. The average emergency room visit for Ireland is about $117, and the average night in a hospital is $91. Also, the average cost of private health insurance for one person in a year is $2,260. Here's a graph of out-of-pocket healthcare spending. As you can see, the United States has the most by far, with Ireland right about here, much less. And now we're talking about the hospital-acquired infections. Hospital-acquired infection are infections that people acquire in the healthcare setting while undergoing treatment for another condition. The United States, the incidence rate is about 4.5%. This means about 4,500 patients out of 100,000 patients has a hospital-acquired infection. And Ireland is about 5.2%, and this means about 5,200 out of 100,000 patients acquire a hospital-acquired infection. Tobacco control efforts in the United States. Starting in 1995, President Clinton announced the publication of the Food and Drug Administration's proposed regulations that should restrict the sale, distribution, and marketing of cigarettes and smokeless tobacco products to protect children and adolescents. 1997, President Clinton announces an executive order to make all federal workplaces smoke-free. 2000, the Supreme Court rules against the Food and Drug Administration, finding that the agency lacks the authority to regulate tobacco. In 2010, effective July 22nd, 2010, the law prohibits the tobacco industry from distributing or introducing into the U.S. market any tobacco products for which the labeling or advertising contains the descriptors light, low, mild, or any other similar descriptor, irrespective of the date of manufacture. Then tobacco control efforts in Ireland. The workplace smoking ban was in 2004. A ban on packets containing less than 20 cigarettes in 2007. In 2009, a requirement for all retailers who wish to sell tobacco products to register with the National Tobacco Control Office. In 2016, a ban on smoking in cars where children are present. Safe drinking water in the United States versus Ireland. The United States enjoys one of the world's most reliable and safest supplies of drinking water. The Congress passed the Safe Drinking Water Act in 1974 to protect public health, including by regulating public water systems. The Safe Drinking Water Act requires EPA to establish and enforce standards that public drinking water systems must follow. Approximately 150,000 public water systems provide drinking water to most Americans. About 10% of people in the United States rely on water from private wells. Private wells are not regulated under the SDWA. In Ireland, the quality of public water supplies in Ireland is determined by comparing the results of over 140,000 monitoring test results against the limits set out in the regulations. The quality of drinking water in public supplies remain high, with microbiological compliance at 99.9% and chemical compliance at 99.6%. There were 41 people on a bail notice at the end of 2017 compared to 5,654 people at the end of 2016. Where a bail notice was in place during 2017, over half of the notices were lifted within 1 month. Here's a diagram of the water supply distribution system. It comes from a source, goes to a treatment plant, and then in a storage tank where it'll be distributed throughout people's houses. The rate of uninsured adults in the United States versus Ireland, a total of 12% of adults in the United States lack health insurance, making this about 12,200 per 100,000. In Ireland, there are no uninsured adults in Ireland due to it being a universal healthcare system. About 46,000 adults per 100,000, which is about 46%, has private health insurance, and it's increasing partially due to the long wait times. The unemployment rate of the United States is currently about 3.8% as of January 2019, so about 3,800 people are unemployed out of every 100,000. In Ireland, the rate is about 5.6% as of January 2019, so this is about 5,600 out of 100,000 people. And here are the key takeaways from my presentation. The United States is mostly a private system, Ireland is a public system. Life expectancy in the United States is 80 years, Ireland is 81. Out-of-pocket spending is far greater in the United States than it is in Ireland due to it being a universal healthcare system for the most part. Ireland has a worse hospital-acquired infections incidence of 5.2% compared to the United States at 4.5%. Tobacco control efforts are very strong for both countries. Drinking water is very safe for both. About 12% of adults have no insurance in the United States. Ireland, everybody has insurance, and the unemployment rate is about 3.8% in the United States and 5.6% in Ireland. Thank you.